Metabolism by itself is nothing but 1,000+ biochemical reaction that takes place in the human body at every instance of time. No two human has the same metabolism. Forget about no two human having the same metabolism. We ourselves don't have the same metabolism throughout the life. What we had 10 minutes back is not what we have now. It keeps changing. It is so complex and dynamic. When we were born, we grew up only with 4 inputs to the system. Mother fed us, we slept well, we moved our hands and legs, activities, we were breathing. We all, and nowhere money or medicine came in this picture, right? Car or house came in this. This 4 were the input of the system for growth of the system. But eventually what happened was, when you become 30 plus or 40 plus, you will become diabetic. Accept it and live with this disease for life. This disease, once someone gets it, he has to live with diabetes for life. This is seen as a lifelong progressive disease with a lifelong suffering of symptom, and no one knows when the complication is going to hit us badly. That is the saddest truth of it. People, when they are diabetic, first thing they do is, I become diabetic. Let me not add sugar to my tea or coffee, even a spoon. And they think that by which they could become out of diabetes. Truth is, you take tea with sugar, it doesn't make a difference. But are you able to control the other source of sugars that comes from the other food that you eat? Other food, right? You eat, right? How many of them know that high sugars in the blood gets converted into fat? A lot of patients in our treatment, because today alcohol has become a part of, just for socializing, people have started to drink. What we have seen is people occasionally drinking is nothing harmful. Don't overdo it. And especially in our treatment, what we say is, understand what your body wants and go for it. And when your body is able to tolerate or accept wine or beer, it will let you know. Till that point of time, be disciplined, because you're already damaged when you come here. Don't worsen it.
Hi to all viewers, this is me, Navneet, and this is your Other Nation, and today we are going to talk to Dr. Maluk Mohamed, who is the co-founder of this company called Twin Health. In today's world, we are facing a crisis where we talk about diabetes at the early 40s, and we are very, very concerned about this diabetic chronic health disorder, let it be sugar, diabetes and hypertension. So do we have an alternative, and do we have a correct way to track the amount of metabolic syndrome which is happening within our body? So Twin Health is a very new age solution to track our metabolic changes which is happening within our body. So just to know more about the change and the tracking process, we have Dr. Maluk Mohamed with us. So let's have a word with him. Hello, sir. Sir, today we are living in a digital era, and technology is like literally grooving within ourselves, and we are staying connected with the technology with every part of life, starting from healthcare to daily routine to ordering food. Everywhere technology is incorporated. So please tell us about Twin Healthcare.
Very proud to share that we had invented a technology called whole body digital twin, which is patented, and this technology is enabling to reverse chronic metabolic disease by solving the root cause of the problem, which is the disruptive metabolism.
Okay.
We are here to make people live to make them happy and healthy for life. That's what we do.
Okay. So what exactly is a twin, sir? Because if I could understand from the word twin, my body is a one, and my metabolic response or the outcome of my reactions is a twin. So how do you exactly incorporate this word twin with the metabolic response?
Yeah. Say, very interestingly, a human is a complex system. The basic of a human is the metabolism. Metabolism by itself is nothing but 1,000+ biochemical reaction that takes place in the human body at every instance of time. No two human has the same metabolism. Forget about no two human having the same metabolism. We ourselves don't have the same metabolism throughout the life. What we had 10 minutes back is not what we have now. It keeps changing. It is so complex and dynamic. The world doesn't have a way to precisely measure the metabolism because of its complexity. So all these chronic conditions, let's say for example diabetes. Diabetes by itself is not a disease, it's a condition. The actual disease is the disrupted metabolism. So as we don't have a way to measure it, doctors go and treat the symptom and not the disease. So if we want to offer a unique solution, and if you want to come out with a life changing solution, a revolutionary solution, the first thing that we thought through was, can we build a technology or can we find a way to precisely measure the metabolism? That is where we had come out with this whole body digital twin, our innovation. What it does is, it creates a digital twin of a human. We put basic sensor on human body and we collect biodata from the body through the sensors. We do comprehensive blood tests every quarterly once, and we collect causal input from the individual. We ask them to log some basic data. Through this we build a exact digital replica of a human. So the most intelligent person who understands the body completely is your digital twin. Because it's you, right? It lets you know what is good for your body and it recommends. That is the reason why it is a digital twin. We are building a digital twin of a human.
Okay. And you had mentioned about the word disruptive metabolism.
Yeah.
So how does the disruptive metabolism, how do we disrupt the metabolic system?
See, when we were born, we grew up only with 4 input to the system. Mother fed us, we slept well, we moved our hands and legs, activities, we were breathing. We all, and nowhere money or medicine came in this picture, right? Car or house came in this. These 4 were the input of the system for growth of the system. But eventually what happened was, as we traveled this journey, we started to adulterate the system. There is a way a human body wants a basic of sleep. We started to disrupt it. There is a basic way or fundamental way of what we feed this body. We forgot it, right? Whole thing, we are supposed to eat 3 days at a time, 2 days at a time, right? But how many days at a time do we keep putting something or the other to this body, right? And with modern foods coming in, pizza corner coming in, multiple food packed food coming in, right? To make things easier, to make things very comfortable, anything that's packed has some preservative, right? You keep tampering the body. So eventually what happens is, you had been tampering it for quite a lot of time, where it starts to show up. Honestly speaking, someone doesn't become diabetic in 1 month's time or in 6 months' time or 1 year time. It will start to show up after almost 5 years of damage that's happened to the body. That's the reality. So you had been tampering by adulterating the fundamental that has to go to the body. That's what has gone to a stage where you are disrupted. How many of us today have a healthier lifestyle of doing basic walking? Most of us with advancement in technology sit with our gadgets, right? How many of us hasn't? So when I was young, I could still remember 9 o'clock my house is closed, dark. Everyone goes to bed. 4:35 we wake up in the morning. Today, till 1, 2, kids become very active until late evening. They have their own. We have been totally taking the system into our convenience, and which is resulting in damaging ourselves. That's the truth behind it.
Diabetic health condition, people with diabetes are being termed as they are the new age chronic survivors when they touch their age 40, because when you touch 40, you are being automatically wired that you are entitled to have diabetes without with no preconditions. So what is diabetes, and how is this one disease or a life factor or a the lifestyle, so-called lifestyle disease, how is this affecting our own life system throughout as a community?
Very sad, very sad that we are all wired. When you become 30 plus or 40 plus, you will become diabetic. accept it and live with this disease for life. This disease, once someone gets it, he has to live with diabetes for life. This is seen as a lifelong progressive disease with a lifelong suffering of symptom, and no one knows when the complication is going to hit us badly. That is the saddest truth of it. But God's creation is so beautiful that this body is capable of living for 100 years with amazing vitality. This body is capable. Age is just a mere number, right? We had gone this journey and we had damaged it. So how someone become diabetes? When we eat, right, sugar rises. When sugar rises, there is a signal which goes to the pancreas for the beta cells to secrete insulin. Insulin secretes. Human is made up of trillions of cells, and all these cells has doors. And to open the doors, insulin acts as a key to open the doors. Doors open, sugars are absorbed, and these absorbed sugars act as an energy for the body to function. And ideally, for the entire metabolism to happen, it requires 6 to 9 units of insulin. That's what is required. But what happens is, eventually, as you had disrupted metabolism, you eat, sugar rises, insulins are secreted, door doesn't open. When the door isn't open, what happens? Sugars are not absorbed, cells are fatigued, they are not having energy, so you become tired and fatigued.
First symptom of diabetes.
First symptom of diabetes. Well said. And as I told you, this has a mechanism to heal by itself. High sugars is ridiculously bad. Blood becomes thicker when sugars go high. The flow of blood becomes strained and stressed. Once your high sugars in the blood leads to higher viscosity of the blood, it starts to hurt from the taste of the tongue to sex of an individual. It is causing such a havoc in the system. So what happens is, you want to flush out the high sugars in the blood, and the only way you could do it is urinate it. You start to frequently urinate. Second symptom of diabetes. When frequently urinate, what happens? You become dehydrated. You tend to drink more water. Thirst, third symptom of diabetes. As you are deprived of sugars, because your cells are not absorbed, because the doors are not opening. So ultimately what happens? You crave for sugars. Craving, symptom of diabetes. If you had looked at a commoner, when he was in early age, when he was normal, he might be taking normal sweets, very regular. Once it becomes diabetes, he will crave for sugars. He tends to he tends to be feeling always hungry. So these are the symptoms which is really causing an havoc, right? Sad.
There is a saying in Tamil that unave marandu marunde unavu. So the whatever intake we take it through food is the best healing medicine in the ever made in the world. It has been told by the ancient Tamil people. But still now we believe that food is the medicine. But how do we get exploited in terms of food? Because specifically talking about the people with diabetic condition, they restrain themselves from having zero sugar. As in like, not even the amount of sugar which they regularly intake to make it sufficient for the body. So in terms of restricting sugar or like cut downing the entire sugar from their lifestyle, does it leads to another complications?
People when they are diabetic, first thing they do is, I become diabetic. Let me not add sugar to my tea or coffee.
Even a spoon.
Even a spoon. And they think that by which they could become out of diabetes. Truth is, you take tea with sugar, it doesn't make a difference. But are you able to control the other source of sugars that comes from the other food that
External
you eat?
source, yeah.
Other food, right? You eat, right? Say, how many of them know that high sugars in the blood gets converted into fat? So ultimately the truth is, the food that we all eat has 87 factors in it. Macronutrients, micronutrients and biota nutrients. Most of us know about the macronutrients, carbohydrates, fat and protein, right? And there are next set of people who have some knowledge, think that if I cut the source of sugars, namely the carbohydrates, I will normalize my sugars. Of course, when you cut the source of sugars gets normalized. but at the expense of elevated cholesterol and end organ damages. Because the macronutrients are just a source of fuel to the body. There are 47 micronutrients which are like sodium, potassium, magnesium. We know 10, but there are 47 micronutrients which is essential for the body. Though they are micro in nature, deficient is also bad, excess is also bad. Here comes the complications, complexity. I will not say complexity, right? These micronutrients are categorized as water soluble, fat soluble. When it is water soluble, it is to be replenished in the body daily. When it is fat soluble, each of it has its own half-life. Some 2 days, some 1 week, some 15 days, some 6 months, right? It gets deposited, it gets utilized for the biochemical reaction to take place. The highest micronutrient which is required for the body, which is water soluble, is potassium. 3200 to 4000 milligrams of potassium is required for the body. Assume that there is a tomato and it offers 300 milligrams of potassium. Both of us are eating a piece of tomato, which means that we are eating 300 milligrams of potassium. Can you tell me what is the bioavailability of potassium in our body? The truth is no one can tell. The reason is the bioavailability of any nutrients for that matter depends on the other nutrients which is present in the body at that point of time. No one knows whether it is 10 milligrams which is got absorbed or 150 milligrams or 270 milligrams which is absorbed, because the biochemical reaction depends on the other nutrients which is present in the body which decides the bioabsorption. That is where complications and complexity comes in. You might have heard about many dietary programs. They focus only the macronutrients, and there are people who had other complications because of these tailor-made solutions which is required. That is where researchers had proved that unmonitored dieting is evil for a disrupted metabolic body. As long as normal you eat, once you are disrupted, don't go for such kind of, you think that you are dieting, but you are partly trying to damage and cause some other chaos to the system. Yeah.
So even just like how my first question was, we are living in the digital era, the same way the ancientness of a medicine, of a treating problem has also equally grown up. So today we see a lot of new age solutions for diabetes, saying I'll reverse your diabetes in like 10 days. I can cut down your level of sugar in like 15 days or 30 days. Or be with our wellness program, we can make it, reverse it like 30 days or 60 days or whatever time frame we've been hearing it for. So actually, how do we reverse this process? How do we actually take a track or take a count of the metabolic imbalance which is happening within our body, and how do we balance this again?
So as I told you, when you want to normalize the sugars, you could normalize by cutting the source of sugars. You cut the source of sugars, don't take carbohydrates, just eat protein and fat, take less than 20 or 50 grams of carbohydrates, your sugars gets normalized. There is no rocket science or magic in it. But ultimately, it is at this instant your sugars are normal. But what is important is, you need to look at your body holistically. So far, we had seen the body each signal independently. But the truth is, metabolism by itself is holistic. Every piece of data correlates with other piece of data, other data that's there in the body. If you want the body to get back to normalcy, right? I will not say cure, it is too early to claim that. Cure is something where you sustain normal sugars without medication for more than 5 years. That is the reason why recently the professional bodies, the American Diabetic Association, EASDA, all these people had come together and they had come out with the terminology called remission is possible. Can you remission the diabetes, right? Remission can become reversal, reversal can become cure, right? We had scientifically proved that we could remission and reverse. So ideally what we do is, we optimize lipotoxicity and glucotoxicity. It is medical terminology, but still for the sake of using it, by precisioned nutrition, precisioned activity, precision sleep and meditative breathing and precision medication, right? I told you about, when I say about precision nutrition, what does it mean? We need to balance the 87 nutrients that goes to the body, which is nothing but, which we are able to offer through the whole body digital twin, because the whole body digital twin functionality is to measure the metabolism. As it is able to measure the metabolism, it offers a tailor-made solution to your body depending on what your body wants today. So when you get into the program, what happens is, it identifies the list of food items which are intolerant to your body and classifies as red food. But the beauty is, as you travel through the journey of healing, those red food become orange and green because it heal your metabolism. So typically what we do is, first quarter, we normalize sugars. Your HbA1c become less than 6.5. If someone says that we will normalize your sugars in 1 week time, 30 days time, it's not true. Because the factor is, still the glycation in your blood is still there. Your HbA1c until it becomes less than 6.5, it is not, which is, you need at least 75 to 90 days of time to do it. That is the first step. And when even if your HbA1c has become less than 6.5, it is not remission and reversal. It is phase 1. Second is, you need to optimize other chronic conditions. Because of high sugars, you are damaged substantially your body. Automatically, these are process. Someone's, their sugars are elevated, triglyceride gets higher, right? So second quarter, the other chronic conditions gets regulated. Third quarter, the organs gets normalized. Fourth quarter, by the time all these are phased out, you regenerate your beta cells and regulate your insulin resistance. So it's a phase of 1 year. Can you continue to sustain that 1 year outcome for long years to claim that you had permanently reversed the condition which is cured?
Sir, we are living in a very junky world where everything is fashionable and everything is trendy. So especially to people who had been consuming alcohol for like a couple of years or a very good sum of years, all they claim is, I've stopped alcohol. If I stop alcohol, one day suddenly my diabetes get reversed. And again, this is also very a subjective type of a question where alcohol plays a very vital role in increasing the amount of sugars in your body. So how do you see this trend of people consuming alcohol and diabetic?
So we have seen a lot of patients in our treatment, because today alcohol has become a part of social aspect, right? When they get together just for socializing, people have started to drink. What we had seen is, people occasionally drinking is nothing harmful. Don't overdo it. And especially in our treatment, what we say is, understand what your body wants and go for it. And when your body is able to tolerate or accept wine or beer, it will let you know. Till that point of time, be disciplined, because you are already damaged when you come here. Don't worsen it. Typically, so far what happens is, this is diabetes seen as a lifelong progressive disease with lifelong suffering of symptom, and no one knows when the complication is going to hit us badly. Only at that time we will start to wake up. It becomes terribly bad, right? So here what we say is, you come with the damage, go with the recommendation of your digital twin. We are helping to only understand your body. So listen to your body. And once you gradually, maniacally go to a place where it will start to recommend. Because in your preference it will collect. You love to take alcohol, you love to take wine or beer or brandy or whiskey or vodka, right? Appropriately it recommends. And it will ensure that you don't overdo to damage it and go back to the place where you came from. Whatever you do with moderation. Don't overdo. Ultimately, alcohol is bad for health. As long as you don't overdo, it's fine.
And talking about the technologically driven solution, your body twin. So how does this exactly work with tracking down the metabolic response within the body?
So say, if I ask someone, I'm asking you, how are you? You may say, I'm doing great. But how do you tell that? Based on your energy and mood. You just looked at how you feel and you told, right? If we ask any of my patient, I'll not call them patient because we call them members, because we reverse them. There are no more patients. He will immediately, what he'll do is, he'll open his digital twin. Through his mobile devices, his interface to his digital twin. And he'll show his metabolic score, which might be north of 80 or telling that my metabolic score is 83. I'm doing great. Very, very proud to share that we are the first company in the world who had proved that the microvascular complications can be reversed. Neuropathy, retinopathy and nephropathy. The damage that has happened to the nervous system, eyesight and the kidney can be reversed. Huge. As we are going and solving the root cause of the problem, which is the disruptive metabolism, a gamut of change happens in the body. We had seen people coming with infertility. Woman who was, because of infertility, she had gone for a lot of hormonal therapeutical treatment, damaged the body, still she was not able to conceive, and she had become depressed, she had become diabetic, insulin dependent. She came for a reversal of diabetes. You will not believe. She reversed her diabetes, she stopped her antidepressive drugs, she conceived, and she is a mother now. The reason is, what we are doing is we are correcting the fundamental basic of a human. That is what makes it powerful. It's a start. It's a start. The aspiration that we have is every human should own a subscription of digital twin. It will let you know how. Why should someone damage his condition and come to us? Right? It lets you know, hey Maluk, you are here, why don't you titrate appropriately to ensure that you go back to normalcy? Which is easy. Precaution is better than cure. That's it.
Okay.
We will definitely, with the way we had built this, with the scientific evidence we had created, we are damn sure we should be there.
Just like how you told us about the example of infertile woman coming to you and coming to the digital twin. So can we expect solutions like this is not just about diabetes or sugar or any one of the specified area. So how does the metabolic cure, I mean the metabolic system, how does it cure different problems? Because we are talking about touching the root cause. So how do we diagnose that we are metabolically disrupted, or how do we come to the sense like, okay, my metabolism is this bad, I'll have to work on this to improve my ability to, you know, if supposingly I'm infertile, supposingly I'm diabetic, or I'm a high stress person, or I'm like with a different health condition syndrome. So how do we check that I'm metabolically disrupted?
See, point number, I'll tell you, I'm not diabetic. Thankfully, I don't have any the hypertension, or I'm not obese or something, right? But still, being a founder, I own a subscription of twin. My metabolic score is 93. I maintain between 90 and 93, right? Typically, once someone has damaged their metabolism, it shows up as any of the chronic condition.
It shows up with any of the condition.
Your sugars gets elevated, your BP gets elevated, you will start to put weight, your cholesterol goes high, right? All these are chronic condition. Women with polycystic PCOD, right? Multiple things happens, right? Ultimately, as I told you in the start of the session, the fundamental to a human is the 4 inputs, which will regulate your metabolism. Once you regulate your metabolism, a gamut of change happens to your body. Right. We have proved that, we have data today, we have published it scientifically that 37 factors could be reversed today, normalized today. Huge. That's what the power of technology can make a difference to a human body.
Okay. So with a huge hope of giving a change to the society, so please tell us about how does this process work? How do we check the metabolic change, and how do we take this up as a process?
Typically, ultimately, though we have a solution for multiple chronic condition, we wanted to be focused. Today, we offer reversal of diabetes, reversal of pre-diabetes, reversal of obesity. This is what we are offering today to the masses of India and US. Though we have solution, though we know that NAFLD, the liver disease, could be reversed, we know that other conditions, eventually it will happen, it will come, because the operations, the service of all these vary. We need to be excellent in what we offer as a solution. There are 2 things, there is a product and service. So here when member has become diabetes or pre-diabetes or obesity, it is a contactless treatment. Let me repeat, it's a contactless treatment, but it's a treatment offered by doctors. Our twin is an enabler for doctor to offer a highly sophisticated solution to people. It recommends the medication, or it recommends what has to be done, but doctor titrates. So when a member gets enrolled, when he comes to know about what is digital twin, he gets enrolled, he gets excited and gets enrolled, and the onboarding session alone takes 7 days. At home, blood draw is done. Diagnostic partner comes in, visit your place, draw the blood, and once the report comes in, our doctor walks you through with the blood data, make you understand, because I'll tell you, so far we look at mere numbers, which will not be helpful to you at all. You need to correlate to understand holistically your body. The doctor walks you through, it takes 20 to 30 minutes, and make you understand your body clearly, basic start. Then he will walk you through what is that in twin we are able to do. What is that you should be, you can expect out of this particular treatment, and what is it you have to do. They do a session, and then the sensors are shipped to your home. Sensors are activated. Then the health coach who is assigned to you, because every patient gets a doctor and a health coach. Health coach walks you through, help you to install the app, which is nothing but she helps you to activate the sensors and completely walk you through the set of routines that you need to do, right? And on the 8th day, the treatment starts. You are expected to do just what your digital twin is asking you to do. Here the coach is an enabler to marry the technology. She is not here to get you the meal plan. Typically in a typical dietary program, they will give you a meal chart. Coach is there to offer you a meal plan. Here the meal plan is not offered by human intervention. The digital twin, understanding your body, offers you a meal plan. It also provides you an opportunity to create your own meal plan, but there are set of things which you need to do. There are 3 circles which has to be green, which means that you have prepared a plan which is going to enrich your metabolism.
You're actually ready for it.
Exactly. Similarly, people say that you walk, you lose weight, you can control your diabetes. Controlling is different. We have cyclists who are there in our treatment, we have yoga teacher who are there in the treatment, we have shuttle player who are there in the treatment. Who can do more exercise than them? Right? The truth is, every human's metabolism is unique. You need to fatigue the muscles precisely depending on your metabolic condition to regulate your insulin resistance. So again, activity is positioned to your body's condition. Similarly, sleep of individual varies. Understanding your metabolic condition, it recommends positioned sleep to ensure that your sleep pattern becomes better. Right? Along this journey, people come with medication. We cannot pull out all the medicine on a single day. It has to be titrated depending on the progress of your healing of your metabolism. So it recommends titrating the medication, and eventually almost more than 70% of our patients, we are able to stop all diabetic medication including insulin in less than 60 days of time. People who have damaged their body very badly, it may take a longer period of time. So ultimately, adherence to the recommendation of the digital twin will ensure that you achieve the milestone what you aspire to, and this ensures that you become happy and healthy for life. It's a 1-year treatment.
Thank you so much, doctor. Thank you so much for sharing all your thoughtful insights with us and to the people, and I'm sure people will be really enlightened by this.
Thanks for the opportunity, and I wish the world to be happy and healthy for life.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.